Namaste, welcome. Today we'll move through a balanced full body flow designed to gently wake up the body, improve mobility, and build stability. For props, you could have a blanket. I'm sitting on one right now, and a pair of blocks would actually come in pretty handy today, so I would highly recommend that. Namaste, welcome. Today, we'll move through a balanced full body flow designed to gently wake up the body, improve mobility, and build stability. For props, you could have a blanket to sit on. I'm sitting at the edge of one, and a pair of blocks could come in pretty handy today. So go ahead and grab your props. And as always, listen to your body and take any modifications that feel right for you today. Let's start by finding a comfortable seat, Sukhasana, crossing the legs at the ankles or shins, resting the palms on the legs, and then gently soften the gaze or close down the eyes. We'll start by taking a moment to settle in our practice, our seat. Just watching the breath come in and go. On the inhales, find length through the spine all the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And let the exhales help you ground down, soften the shoulders, the legs. Let's start with 3 rounds of cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, sigh out. Begin to deepen your breath. Finding balance between effort and effortlessness. Final round. Gently flick the eyes open. Let's take a twist to the right side. So hook the left hand outside the right leg, right hand behind you to support you. Turn the chest to the right side. Inhale, lengthen here. And exhale to twist. 4 more breaths. Eyes open or closed. Relax the shoulders. Come back center over to the other side. Gently ease into the posture. Finding depth one breath at a time. Final round. Nice. Come back center. Let's take a side bend to the right side. So lower the right hand down. Take the left arm up and over. Relax the right shoulder. You're taking 5 breaths in each posture. Gives us enough time to get the benefit of the pose. also help us settle. Another breath. Over to the other side. Anchoring down to through the opposite hip, right in this case. Final round. Rise up, resting the palms on the knees again. Cat and cows. Inhale, lean forward, arch the spine. Shoulder blades draw in. Exhale, round, tuck the chin. Continue. Creating space in the front body as we take cow. And then the back. 3 more rounds, eyes open or closed. Feel free to shift the weight forward and back as you transition. Allowing the pose to come to you. Last round. Well done. We'll come into table. You could use your cushion to support your knees if they're feeling sensitive. Wrist underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Knees hip width apart, wrist shoulder width apart. Let's rock back and forth to warm up the wrist. Inhale forward, exhale back. If you've practiced with me before, this is one of my staple in table. Couple of more, taking shoulders past the wrist, any amount. One more. Stack shoulders over wrist. Let's point the fingers to the long end of the mat and then gently rock side to side. And then let's turn the fingers towards the legs, any amount, and then lean back. So strong wrists are not just needed for our yoga practice. They're helpful when we lift weights or carry on other tasks in our daily lives, our grip strength, everything. And then let's do one more thing. So palms facing up, fingers face each other. Stack shoulders over wrist if you can manage. Otherwise, bring the shoulders back a little bit if it's too much. See if you can try to curl the toes, almost going towards making a fist. Won't happen for many of us. Just bring your fingers and thumb towards each other. Another breath. Lean back to release. Palms plant down, fingers face forward. We'll flow through few rounds of log rolls. Staying on tops of the feet is helpful when we do this. Send the hips to one side as you arch your spine, and then round as you shift the hips on the other side. We'll flow for 5 rounds in each direction. Feel free to make this your own. Bend the elbows. Almost like a dance. After your 5 rounds, switch direction. Last repetition. And relax. Well done. We'll go for a bird dog hold. So curling the toes back again. Extending the right leg behind us. Point through the right toes. Close the hip. Stay here. Otherwise, add the opposite arm. Avoid locking in the right elbow. People who hyperextend have to be especially careful here. Tuck the tailbone. Another breath. Let's take one more. Lower the hand, lower the knee, shake out the hips a little. We'll go on the other side. Left leg extends, shifting the weight on the right side, point the toes without arching the spine, lift the leg high, and then add the opposite arm. 5 breaths here. Lengthening in opposite direction with our limbs. Final breath. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Let's transition into downward facing dog. Take your time, find your shape. And once you're there, let's wake up the back of the legs by pedaling out the knees. We can sway the hips side to side to create a little bit more movement. And then let's soften both knees a little more than usual. Lengthen through the spine first and then begin to find length in the legs. Let's do that a couple of more times. Bend the knees, move the chest back, and then keeping the chest where it is, try to lengthen in the legs. Any amount. We're not shooting for straight legs here. Last one, bend and exhale, extend. Stay for 3 breaths. Feel free to come into child's pose anytime in practice if you feel like taking a break or you realize you need a break. Bend the knees, look towards the hands. Begin to walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, palms press into the shins. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, lower the hands down. We'll do 2 rounds of sun salutation, Hatha style, which means Ashtang Namaskar, and low lunges are Ash Sanchalan. You could choose to keep the knee lifted in your lunge or lower it down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, right foot steps back, lunge. Exhale, left back, plank. Inhale, knees down, arch spine. Exhale, Ashtanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, down dog. So 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, right foot forward, lunge, gaze forward. Exhale, left forward, fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Let's fold all the way for the left side. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back, lunge. Exhale, right back, plank. Inhale, knees come down, arch the spine. Exhale, Ashtanga, chest chin. Inhale, Cobra, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, lunge. Exhale, right. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, lower the hands down by your side. 1 more round. Inhale, arms reach up. Option to look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, knees come down, arch spine. Exhale, Ashtanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, lunge. Exhale, left. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. We'll fold right into the other side. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back, lunge. Exhale, plank. Inhale, knees down, arch spine. Exhale, Ashtanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lunge, left foot forward. Exhale, right foot forward, fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, lower the hands down. Well done. Hopefully the body feels a little warm. Mine definitely does. We'll face the long end of the mat and let's keep our blocks handy. So I'll keep my 1 block on one side of the mat and the other on the other side of the mat. We will use them for our half moon. Let's widen out the feet, 3.5 to 4 feet. Setting up for warrior 2. Right toes will point towards the short end of the mat. Left toes turn in slightly. Bend in the right knee without leaning forward. So keep the shoulders above the hips. And then tee out the arms. Look through the front, second finger. 5 breaths here. Feel free to bring the feet a little close to each other if you feel like you stretched out, or move them further away if you feel the need. Sometimes we realize that after arriving in the pose. 2 more breaths. Let's go into reverse triangle. I like to shorten my stance a little by moving the back foot in a little. Both legs are straight, right arm goes up, and then go for this side bend. 5 breaths here. Last round. Now we'll transition into half moon. So it's helpful to bend the knee, bringing the back foot in, and then finding that block of ours. Slowly start lifting the left foot off the mat, left hand on left hip. And if you feel stable enough, start turning your chest towards the left side. Option to lift the left arm up. Make sure that your right toes are turned towards the short end of the mat. There's a tendency to turn in the foot. Couple of more breaths. Another one. Bringing the hand back on the hip, bend in the right knee, transition into your reverse warrior. You'll take a little maneuvering to do that. This time doing the side bend with the front knee bent. Another breath. Release the hand, straighten the front leg. We'll transition into Skandasana on our left side. So slightly turning out the left toes. Start lowering down on the left side. You might have to bring the hands out in front of you for support. You might have to lift the left heel to find this posture. Curl the right toes towards you. And if you're able to lower the left heel down, do that. You don't have to. Lengthen through the spine. 5 breaths here. Keep the chin away from the chest. Final round. Shifting the weight forward, we'll transition into lizard on the right leg. So start walking the hands towards the right foot. All 10 toes point to the short end of the mat. Lower the back knee down. Bring the left knee towards the left side of the mat and right foot to the right side of the mat. Either stay here on your fingers or lower down on your forearms. I'm going to use my block. My right hip is not as open as my left hip, so I need block on this side. And feel free to adjust your block. Let the head go here, bringing chin to the chest. Couple of more breaths. Slowly rising up, we are going to twist into dragon. So again, the left hand can stay on the mat. You'll turn the right toes out slightly and lift the inner arch of the foot and twist here. So staying high. If available, you could lower the left forearm on the block or on the mat and take the same twist. Continue to turn from the chest. Couple of more breaths. Unwind. If you were using the block, let's move it to the side. Option to step back into down dog or join me for a vinyasa. So plank, Ashtanga, Cobra, down dog. Take a breath here. If you feel up for it, you could jump forward. On the next inhale, lift the arms up all the way. Exhale, lower the hands down. We'll go on the other side. So again, facing the long end of the mat, I'm going to move this block out of the way. We'll do our warrior series on the other side. So 3.5 to 4 feet, left toes will turn towards the short end of the mat, right toes slightly turn in, bend in the left leg, tee out the arms, gaze through the left second finger, 5 breaths. Check if your left knee is buckling in, another common tendency. Another breath. Release the hands down, straighten through the front leg. Let's bring the back foot in a little bit to shorten the stance. Reverse warrior, left arm goes up and over, chin away from the chest, 5 breaths here. Slowly lower the hand down, setting up for our half moon. So bringing the right foot in, finding that block under the left hand. Start lifting your right leg. Right hand remains on right hip. First, turn the chest to the right side of your space. Point through the right toes. Once you have the hips stacked and you feel balanced, add the arm. So right arm reaches up. Step by step we move. Avoid locking in the left knee. Slight softness in the knee is going to help you find stability here. 2 more breaths. Stay strong. Hand comes back on hip. Bend through the front knee. Finding warrior 2 legs. And then we'll reverse our warrior. Right hand down. Left arm goes up and over. Just finding our balance before we transition into Skandasana. Only 3 breaths here. Lower the left hand down, turn the right toes out slightly, and then slowly settle down here. Feel free to take the support of the hands, curl the left toes, lengthen through the spine. Another breath. We'll walk our hands towards the left foot, turning all 10 toes towards the short end of the mat, setting up for lizard. So I'm bringing my right knee to the right edge of the mat, left foot to the left. Use block or blocks to lower down. Releasing any tension from the upper body, finding depth here. You can relax the head by bringing chin to chest. You could stay on your forearm for your dragon or come up on your palm. Transition first and then go down. So whatever works. Let's take an extra breath here. Return. Option for a vinyasa. Stepping back into plank. Knees up or down. You could also take chaturanga instead of ashtanga. And then let's take 3 breaths in our down dog. Finding a little depth, hopefully, in this posture. Last breath. Bend the knees, make your way to the top of the mat. On the next inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, lower the hands. One balanced posture before we settle down on our seat. I'm going to turn towards the long end of the mat, shifting the weight in the right leg. We'll take tree pose. So we have various options. We can simply hook the ankle or place it under the knee or above the knee in the inner thigh. Whatever works. You could always go next to a wall or a stable piece of furniture for support. If you are able to, bring the hands in front of the heart. This is where we'll keep our hands today. And try to take 7-8 breaths. Hang in there. Draw the right hip into the center. Another breath. Gently, gracefully release the foot down. Shake out the legs. We'll go on the other side. So taking any variation. This is my wobbly side. It helps to have that skin to skin contact for grip. Take another couple of breaths. Returning back, shake out the legs. Nicely done. Let's come down into Malasana. So turning the toes out slightly and slowly lower yourself down. Bringing the palms in front of the heart. If the heels don't quite touch the mat, it's totally fine. Wherever you are, lengthen through the spine. Push those inner thighs out. Close down the eyes. Total 5 breaths here. Last round. With the support of the hands, we will lower down. Let's do a quick windshield wiper. Swaying the knees side to side couple of times. And then we'll do a couple of poses before making our way down. Almost coming to the end. All right. So Ardha Matsyendrasana, if you were using the blanket in the beginning, you could sit at the edge of it. I'm going to use mine. So left ankle close to the right hip, right ankle in front of it. Place the left palm outside the right knee or the forearm, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Feeling a nice torsion in our waist. And keep the left hip anchored. So don't turn the hip along with the upper body. Keep it drawn in. Final round. Unwind. One more pose on this side and then we'll repeat these 2 poses on the other side. Agni Stambhasana or fire log. I have tight hips, so I'm going to keep my left heel close to the right hip and bring my right shin parallel to the short end of the mat as much as I can. I'm already feeling enough stretch. If you are not feeling too much of sensation in the outer hip, move the bottom heel away from you. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold any amount. I like to keep my right forearm on the right inner thigh for some added intensity. I'm definitely feeling it. If you're pretty deep in the posture, you could extend both arms out and let the weight of the upper body fall on the legs. Couple of more breaths. Let's take one more. Slowly rise up, leaning back, and we'll switch the legs. Now the right leg is down, left ankle is in front. of the right ankle. We'll take our Ardha Matsyendrasana seated twist. Softening and lengthening as we breathe. Final round. Fire log on this side, so sometimes it takes a little maneuvering to find our posture. Once you have the legs, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold any amount. So the goal here is not seeing how far we can fold, but to feel the stretch. Close down the eyes, soften. Take another breath. Slowly rise up. Well done. Lean back to release the legs, and then we'll come on our backs. You could use that blanket as a pillow to support the neck. Bringing the knees to the chest, we gently rock side to side. Purna Vayu Muktasana before Shavasana. So lifting the head, neck and shoulders. Give yourself a nice hug here. Inhale to squeeze. Exhale to release the head. The legs extend for our final posture. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Ankles play open. Hands could rest on the belly by your side. I like to tee out the arms on certain days, just taking up space. Move my block. Closing down the eyes if they aren't already. We'll close with one final round of cleansing breath. Inhale. And sigh out. Let's only focus on becoming softer, heavier with every passing breath. Sinking further and further into the space beneath us. Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Fingers, toes wiggle. You could join me for a full body stretch, arms overhead, pointing the toes forward. Inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, let's roll on to any side into our fetal position. Pausing here. Popping up on the next inhale. Find any comfortable seat, resting, or rather bringing the hands in front of the heart. Soaking in this final moment before we get into our day. Palms to our forehead, we bow with gratitude. And then rubbing the palms, placing the warm palms around our eyes, our face. Blinking the eyes open with a smile. Hopefully you're leaving your mat feeling a little stronger, more open and grounded than when you began. I'll see you next time on the mat. Until then, take good care of yourself. Namaste.